I grew up in the city of Philadelphia in the 1950s and 1960s. That's where I met the Norbertines. I was an altar server, and Father John Neitzel came to my parish for Sunday Mass. Later, I worked with the Norbertines who came for weekend ministry in parishes where I served after my ordination as a priest of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia in 1974. In later years, after living alone in a parish nearby the Abbey, I asked Abbot Ron Rossi if I might join the community for meals. Thus began a closer relationship with the Norbertines. I traveled a short 3-mile trip from parish to Abbey, both for lunch and dinner. This was great. No more eating alone. I prayed midday prayer and vespers with the community. There was good conversation at meals. Life was great. God has a sense of humor. In July of 2012, a Philadelphia diocesan priest began his discernment period with the Norbertines, Father Herb Sperger. He asked one day if he could talk with me, so he came to the parish where I was served as a pastor. After some small talk, he asked, "Why aren't you a Norbertine?" I laughed, and he asked again. He had seen me at lunches and dinners and prayers and socials with the Norbertines. He noticed my comfort level with the community and their comfort level with me. "Why aren't you a Norbertine?" he asked again, and even asked a third time. My responses were quick and even humorous. White isn't as thinning as black. I am a big man. Finally, I sent him back to the Abbey. Yet that question remained with me. I was a happy diocesan priest. I was a pastor. I liked to travel. I had my own car. I had a home that I owned in Maryland where I would retire in a few short years. Are you nuts? Give this all up? I'm happy. His question haunted me for months. Finally, one day I spoke it aloud to a Norbertine friend, Father Steve Albero. Once I spoke it, once I shared it, I was no longer haunted. A peace came over me, a peace like I had never known before. My leaving diocesan priesthood, joining the Norbertine community, certainly was difficult. Some thought I had lost my mind, but the psychological exams that I took said differently. Some said I would not make the transition. At the age of 63, I would be back. The letting go, the downsizing of all the stuff of my past life was a task. Yet through it all, I was at peace. In June of 2013, I left my pastorate. I moved into a single room at the Abbey with the formation community, and on August 27th, I was vested in the Norbertine habit and began my novitiate. There were 3 of us. Our novice master, Father Francis Danielski, certainly had his work cut out for him. There was a schedule of prayer, a schedule of classes, a schedule of work periods. There was no traveling away from the Abbey. I found the novitiate a challenge, yet also a great joy. Yet I got through it because of the support and encouragement of those Norbertines who welcomed me as a new brother. After the year of novitiate, I professed simple vows for a period of 3 years and began to work in the local parishes and worked at the Abbey. I realized more and more that God had used Father Herb Sperger as his instrument to begin a new vocation within a vocation of many years. This past August, I made my solemn profession as a Norbertine. I committed myself for the rest of my life to this community of Norbertine brothers and priests here at Daylesford Abbey. I was joined at that celebration by my family and my friends, folks I had ministered to and had met along the way of my life as a diocesan priest. I was also joined by about 60 priests and a bishop who were and who are part of my priesthood. It was a great celebration. God has a great sense of humor. God asked, "Why aren't you a Norbertine?" I answered, "I am a Norbertine." So I ask, why aren't you a Norbertine?